Hey there guys, how's it going? So yeah, Oleksandr Usyk defeats Dereck Chisora by a pretty comfortable unanimous decision. Um, I mean, with the fight being in the UK and with it being in Dereck Chisora's background, you had a couple of joker judges who had it like by 2 points or something like that. I think they had it 115, 113, and one of the judges got it right. But yeah, this was a pretty clear and conclusive victory for Oleksandr Usyk. I think I gave Dereck Chisora probably the first 2 rounds. You could argue the first three, but from then on it was all Usyk. He completely dominated. Just moving around, making Chisora miss. Chisora was bumbling forward, throwing those big sloppy wide hooks. Usyk was just timing them. He was making Chisora miss. He was keeping him on the end of the jab. Once Usyk started using his left hand, it became target practice. He was hitting Chisora with the left hand almost at will. Chisora had no idea how to get away from it, and to be honest, I thought it was a pretty one-sided and pretty by-the-numbers fight. Now, before I get to talking and breaking it down more, I just wanted to talk about the fucking referee. Now, I've talked in the past, and I'm sick and tired of going on about this, about how one of the worst things about boxing for me is what we're seeing with referees. I'm sick and tired of seeing fights where you got one guy fighting within the rules, boxing, using his fundamentals, trying to win the fight in the realms of the rules of boxing. And then you've got another guy who's doing whatever the fuck he wants, throwing low blows, hitting around the back, just bulldozing forward and shoving his forearm in the guy's face and putting him in a headlock and just doing whatever he wants, basically, as if he's in a street fight. And that's what was going on here. Dereck Chisora's performance tonight was fucking despicable. The amount of low blows that he threw the entire fight, I can't recall him even being warned or penalised once. The whole fight he was throwing low blows. The whole fight he was hitting behind the head. The whole fight he was hitting Usyk round the back. Usyk was, gesturing to his corner and gesturing to the referee that he was in a bit of distress because every time Chisora got inside, and let's not forget, Chisora's a big man. Okay, the guy's got more than a 40-pound weight advantage in there. So if you got a guy that's 40 pounds heavier than you, just bumbling forward and pushing you around and trying to hit you in the balls and trying to hit you around the back and trying to put you in a headlock, it's going to put you in a bit of discomfort and a bit of distress. And I do think that took something out of Usyk, and that was why he maybe wasn't able to bust Chisora up as well as he could have had this been, a fairly officiated fight. But I digress. It is what it is. Oleksandr Usyk did what he had to do. This fight did answer a few questions that I think a lot of people have as to whether or not Usyk has the power to really compete at world level at heavyweight. I don't really think he does, if I'm being honest. Now, Dereck Chisora is a tough guy. Right? He's a guy who doesn't usually get stopped. He's only been stopped by Tyson Fury, where he quit, and against David Haye and against Dillian White. Those two are pretty big punchers, probably considerably bigger punchers, and just more heavy-handed than Usyk, despite Usyk being a much better boxer than the pair of them. But Usyk, to me, I don't think he has that one-punch KO power like what David Haye had when he moved up from cruiserweight, and that is going to be a problem because he's going to have a lot of fights like this. Fights where he's going to have a big guy trying to lean on him and, trying to foul him all night, and it's going to be a difficult ask for him to outbox those guys in a hard 12-round fight every single time. He's going to have to be dealing with injuries. I think he may have even hurt his left hand in this fight because midway through the fight he was sort of shaking it off and he was praying, and he was also like gesturing to his corner and gesturing to the people ringside that there might have been something wrong with his left hand. And I'm assuming when you've got Chisora grabbing him and trying to rough him up inside, that probably put a lot of strain on Usyk's body, and he was more injury prone at that point. So I don't know, man. It was a good performance from Usyk, but it was in some ways a flawed performance because again he showed to me that just he doesn't really have that one punch KO power at heavyweight. But it is what it is, man. I think Usyk will give one of the heavyweight titleists a difficult challenge. Like if he fights Anthony Joshua after the Pulev fight, it's a good fight. Usyk's definitely a better boxer than Joshua, but is he going to be able to handle the power? Like if Anthony Joshua is able to land even a stiff jab or a straight right hand Is Usyk going to have the durability to really put up with that over the course of 12 rounds? I'm not so sure. So it is what it is. It was a good fight. Usyk schools Dereck Chisora and won pretty clearly. As for Dereck Chisora, I've never been a fan of Dereck Chisora. I don't like the guy. I think the guy's a thug. I think he's a dirty piece of shit, if I'm being honest. I think the dude's a scumbag. And the way he fought was just scummy too. Again, just going in there and throwing non-stop low blows and shots behind the head and shit. This shit annoys me. And I mean, with the scores being so close, at least two of them, I get the sense that maybe they were planning to rob Usyk, but just the fight was so one-sided that they didn't really get the chance to. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think anyway. Good performance from Usyk. Thanks for watching, yeah, and God bless.